What is going on, Pokemon trainers? My name is Blaze, and welcome to episode 157 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Today I got a couple of matches going on with my Gambler deck, a brand new deck for the month of February. And I also have at least one pack of Evolutions cards to open up today. But also I want to talk about the card that's on your screen. This card is coming out on Friday. It's only about 3 days away, and I'm super stoked because that means that we'll have a brand new expansion to play in the Pokemon trading card game, in the physical card game, and in the online card game. And I'm very stoked to talk about today Espeon GX. Espeon's one of my favorite EV evolutions. Probably not my favorite, but one of my favorite ones. As far as the ones for Generation 2, I was very excited for Espeon. But let's talk about the attacks. First of all, the HP, it's a stage 1 evolution, so it has 200 HP, which is probably about standard for a stage 1 evolution. It has a weakness to Psychic and also a retreat cost of 1, so it's going to be able to get out of there pretty quickly if you need it to, but it also has a weakness to itself, Psychic, which most Psychic Pokemon do. But let's talk about the first attack there. Now, first of all, I have to mention that Eevee, the one coming out in Sun and Moon, is the type of Eevee that has the ability that when you attach a type of energy to it, you're going to be able to use the ability and evolve that Pokemon right then and there. So I think that's probably one of the coolest abilities out there. So basically, if you have an Eevee on your bench or anywhere, you attach a Psychic energy to it, and then you search your deck for Espeon GX, pop it onto your Eevee, and you're good to go. So I like that ability a lot, and that's probably the only ability that Eevee, it's probably the best ability for Eevee, and the one that I want to see return in the future. But let's talk about the attacks. So, one Psychic Energy will let you do Psybeam, 30 damage, and it also confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. For 3 energy, 1 Psychic, 2 colorless, the attack is called Psychic, and it does 60 damage. This attack does 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it could be a pretty devastating attack if you have an opponent that's just putting a ton of energy onto their Pokemon. So that could be a very devastating attack. I think I like Psychic a little bit, especially against a Mewtwo where they're just piling energy onto their Mewtwo, or I think in the past I played a fire deck that had Blaziken that did the same thing, and it worked out for me, but going up against this GX card is going to be troublesome if you happen to attach a lot of energy to your Pokemon. The GX attack is called Divide GX. Remember, you can only use 1 GX attack per game, and this particular GX attack allows you to put 10 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. So, in the most perfect of circumstances, you're going to have a couple of Pokemon on your opponent's bench, a couple of like Rattatas, or maybe you're going to have a couple of, in a perfect world, you would have a couple of Magikarps. So let's just say your opponent is trying to build his bench full of Magikarp or Rattata to get his Raticates and Gyarados powered up, and you just happen to have enough energy to do this attack. Well, you can probably kill, 2 Magikarps and a Rattata. Not that those would ever be paired up together, but just as an example, you could do that, and that would get you 3 prize cards. So in another perfect scenario, you could have a situation where you've got damage already given to your opponent, and they've switched out Pokemon, so they have damage on their bench, or maybe they're moving damage counters around because of an ability or another attack, and they're trying to just stay in the game. Well, this GX attack would take care of those Pokemon that are just barely holding on, and you could probably partner that up with another Pokemon that deals, that puts damage counters on other Pokemon. So, for instance, I know that I played an Alakazam deck yesterday that was very good about evolving and then using that ability to damage my bench and my active. This would be a great addition to that deck, the GX attack alone would allow you to just place damage counters wherever you want to, and it could result in a early KO, or early victory, I should say. Also, there's one with Gengar where you actually evolve Crobat and Golbat, but I think that those are not legal for standard play, so you can't use that strategy in standard play. But Golbat and Crobat are another example where you can put damage counters on your opponent as you evolve, de-evolve and re-evolve if you want to, and then go ahead and just use Divide GX and knock out those Pokemon that you've been building damage over time with. So I like this card. I think that it's a very solid card. It's not as good as I would hope an Eevee evolution card would be. Eevee is probably my favorite Pokemon, and I love all of the evolutions, and I really hoped that the GX cards would be a lot better, but they're not. It's not bad. I don't know. It's probably in my top 5 of the cards I've gone through already, but it's not by any means my #1 pick. So tell me what you think in the comments below. If you think this card is a good card, bad card. If you think it's a card that has potential, or that maybe you picked up on a strategy that I didn't talk about here today, put it in the comments below. And as always, remember, if you're commenting in the comments below, try to put a timestamp on that. It helps me out so I can figure out where in the video you're referencing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into those matches real quick, because today I made a couple of adjustments to my deck. I changed a couple things around, and I've won a couple extra matches kind of offline just to see if I could do it. And, you know, I know that this deck is very challenging, and it's going to be kind of a interesting uphill battle for the rest of this month. I think that once that Rotom Dex card comes out, that's going to be fun to be able to add that into my deck and see if that does, in fact, help me get those greedy dice into the prize cards. So that could come in handy. So we're just going to have to wait and see and play as many matches as I can to try to get this built up. But there's potential here, and I don't want to waste it. So, you know, Manaphy was one of the cards I switched out because I had a problem with Pokemon being in the active slot that I couldn't do anything about if my opponent used a Lysander and just wanted to stall. I think on the second match I ever played, there was a situation with Wailord that if I could have just switched out, it would have been a lot better, but I wasn't able to do that. So, in this particular hand, I have 1 greedy dice in my prize card, so that could come in handy a little bit later on in the match. We'll see, but for now, we have to kind of play it by ear. I don't know. It's kind of early to tell, so actually I don't have any greedy dice in the prize card since it's right here. So this is a prime situation where I know that all of those greedy dice are not in the prize cards. I need to get them in there, and I can't at this time. So let's go ahead and end the turn. This is a good situation where he's going to use Talonflame to get whatever Pokemon or whatever cards he wants from his deck. So I need to go ahead and use In or any other type of card that I can pick up to negate this effect. Of course, it is a Greninja deck, which is something I'm not too proud of. I'm not too happy with right now, but it could work out. I'm not really sure why he attached that bursting balloon. That may have been a waste on his part because I can't really attack him right now. I can do slack off for 60, heal 60 damage, but that's it. So I'm not really sure what he thought would happen there. But I will go ahead and make him switch out his Froakie. He can go ahead and waste an energy card to make that switch again, and that's fine. I just don't want to I think he's got what he needs to get this into a Greninja right now, which is kind of scary. Yeah, there's your water duplicates coming up to add 3 of those to the bench. Not the ideal situation to be in right now, but it's not bad. Oh, he can't even do it right now. Okay. Well, I was very much hoping that I would get a different card, but I did not. Go with Mega Slowbro here. Something else I noticed is that some of my water Pokemon have such high, I wouldn't say high energy costs, like 3 energy is not very high, I would say, but I have multiple Pokemon that have 3 energy costs to do an attack. So I have to focus very much on just one attack at a time, and that's a problem I ran into over the last couple of days. So let's see. I'm debating on whether or not I should put a Float Stone or a Fighting Fury Belt on Manaphy, and I think that's going to depend solely on whether or not my opponent makes me switch. And I'm guessing a Float Stone is probably the best bet to put on him just in case, because he might try to stall. Oh, he just quit. That sucks because I really wanted to use this deck. I really wanted it to amount to something today, but that's okay. Let's get into another match here and we'll see how that goes. I think he had like a really bad hand or something, and it was difficult for him to get anything going, and that's acceptable. I think if you want to increase the amount of time spent playing the game to the amount of items you get out of the game. So I can't be mad at him. I'm guessing this is probably a Beedrill deck because this is a Beedrill coin, and it could be bad. Celebi card sleeves and Charizard thing there. Charizard deck box. Oh look, Beedrill. I was right. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab Manaphy. Already. Drop him down there. I want to drop this too, but I'm super scared that he's going to drop a different... I'm actually very confident he's going to drop a different Stadium card very soon. And I only have 2 of these in my deck, so I have to be very careful. Oof. Actually, that's probably going to work out quite well. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh man, look at that. So next turn I can go ahead and evolve him into Slowbro EX. Pin Missile, 40 damage times the number of heads on 2 coin flips. This is double Scrapper. Discard 2 Pokemon tool cards attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, he's going to grab a something. Trico. So I haven't seen this card being played very often. Nurture and Heal. Once during your turn, you may attach a Grass Energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage from it, and then Jungle Edge 70 damage. That's what I was afraid of right there, actually, is that Forest of Giant Plants. I realize that that's something that I should have seen coming. And I did see coming. I wonder if I can... he's weak to grass, though, so I gotta be careful on this. I can't allow... Like, this Manaphy's probably gonna die to be totes honest. So 3 greedy dice in the deck means that there's probably 1 in the prize cards. I don't have any in my hand. And then we'll go ahead and evolve in the turn. And then this thing's probably dead. So if he flips 2 heads on Pindissel, Manafi's gone. There's a chance he won't flip any heads. There's also a chance he'll only flip 1. So we'll see how that goes. And we are good. 4? Was it really 4? Oh, okay. I misread that. That's totally my fault. I do have this feeling, though, that he's going to be able to do all the damage coming up real soon. That's what I wanted. I don't need to use it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and retreat. I probably could have attacked him and healed 30 damage, but I'm going to do it. I really should have done that, actually. I don't think I can retreat again. Dang it. Oh, well. So I'm confused now, but I have the stadium card. I didn't want to play the stadium card now because he would just play a different stadium card and then take that out. So if he flips 2 heads, that's 160. A third head would be 240, and that would end my Slowbro, which I'm very scared that's going to happen. I don't currently have a way to heal it. I suppose this would heal it. 30 damage to your bench Pokemon. I forgot this won't heal. This won't heal Manafi, so it's a little scary. A little scary. Revitalizer to grass Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. It looks like he's going to try to get Vileplume out, so I can't use any item card. That's kind of... oh. He discarded both of his stadium cards. That's interesting. 40 damage. Wow. Well, that's actually unfortunate. Confused or poisoned. So I have to put it the other way, which is very scary because now, it's going to do 200 damage though on this turn. So if I can unparalyze myself, I'll be in good shape. I'm going to do it. I'm going to unparalyze myself, which is a risky move, but someone's got to do it. But I'm also going to deal 200 damage. How much HP does he have? 200? Ugh. 130, 160. I'm going to do it this way. And this is probably going to end in my destruction, but I'm going to be risky about it today. Okay. That's not bad, I suppose. He's dead, though. Like, he's gone. Toast. Out of here. The 80 damage will kill him off, and the poison will just add to that. Which I think going against this deck that I'm going against, the paralyzation is probably the best way to go to prevent the paralyzation. Oh, and he can't attack me this turn. I just realized that. Oh, now he can. He wouldn't have been able to, but now he can. So my opponent's kind of just going crazy with evolving things right now and doing stuff, so good for him. Does that make you discard? Yeah. Let's go Manaphy. I'm probably going to give up a couple more prize cards on this, but I have this. And I've got energy in my discard pile, so let's go ahead and do this attack. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to stay alive, because he's probably going to kill this Manaphy. But if you look at his side of the table, there are no energy cards attached right now. This can attach an energy card from his hand to one of his Pokemon and heal some damage from it. We've got Space Beacon to get energy back into your hand. So that's actually a pretty good strategy, I think. I like that a lot. And I love this Beedrill. This Beedrill is pretty awesome. 40 damage and poison and paralyzed. Instant paralyzation. And you're able to attach multiple energies per turn and heal. So all that damage I just did is gone now. He's dead. I just want you to know that. He's so dead. In will help. That would make me feel good about some stuff here. So in would be great. Except still no... I am going to put this Slowpoke out there because I want to stall for just a minute and hope that's going to make a difference. I don't know if that will or not, but I'm going to put this Float Stone on there. Also, going to use this in to try to grab some more energy cards. I definitely need them. Energy Retrieval would be great, and I did not get it, so that kind of is not cool. It's actually very unfortunate for me. I mean, I can do this, and that'll help a little bit. I still need just one more energy card, but for now, I have to just kind of wait it out and hope that he doesn't have any energy. Would be perfect, and then I can go ahead and just cross my fingers and get an energy card on the next turn. And I probably should have used an energy retrieval last turn before I used that in. That is rough. That is burning my britches right now. That's a good call for him. And now we can't use any item cards, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Energy cards back into his hand, and this is going to get rough. This is going to get very rough. I have to get really lucky with some of these coin flips, and I don't know if I have it in me. I hope I do. I really do hope that I can get these coin flips going. He's going to do about 80, 120 damage every turn, and I'm very much counting on a energy card. And the worst thing is I don't have any Pokemon that can... I can't use any item cards, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. So I can put him to sleep, because the sleep affects me, not him. So I can't be put to sleep or paralyzed, but he can. And of course he woke right up. So cool. That's going to be a victory for him. Wonderful, well played. That was difficult. That was a hard loss for me, because I feel like I probably could have played that a little bit better. I would be in a much better position if I'd used that energy retrieval just a few turns ago, and then used in. But here we go with 40 damage, another 40 for the poison, and another 40 for the poison here in a second. So still no energy card. I can put him to sleep, but he's probably just going to wake up anyway. And this next turn I'm going to get knocked out. So well played, sir. Well played. After this, I'll open up that last pack of Evolution cards, so don't go anywhere if you want to see what I get out of that pack. Could be anything. Could even be a boat. You don't know. But also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. I would love to have you as a subscriber. And I am running a contest here very shortly for 100 subscribers. It's not a huge number, but it took me a while to get there, and it was a lot of hard work. So I want to celebrate that, and I want to celebrate that with the people who have subscribed, the first 100 people to subscribe. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, and I'll post more details about the contest once we get closer to 100 subscribers. So here is the final pack of Evolutions that I have to open today, and I'll try to get some more packs over the next couple of days, but Friday's episode is probably going to be pre-recorded, so I won't be able to do packs of Sun and Moon on Friday. I'll see what I can do to make that work, but as of Friday it will be difficult to open Sun and Moon packs, but I will open up at least 36 packs of Sun and Moon cards on Saturday in a special episode. But as you can see, the coolest card ever just showed up on my screen. This is a Mega Pidgeot EX full art card. These are actually kind of hard cards to get, and I've got Mega Pidgeot. I've got a couple of them, and I love the artwork on this card. It's super cool. And I've got this one as well. So, and then of course there's Pidgeot EX and full art Pidgeot EX. So these cards are not too difficult to get, but Mega Pidgeot has an attack called Mock Cyclone for 130 damage. You may have your opponent switch his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her benched Pokemon. And this card has 220 HP. So this card's a great card to use. It's great for getting damage in and then moving out as quickly as possible. And I almost feel like this would work in the deck that I'm using now. I've used this card before. I don't necessarily want to use it again, but it's not a bad choice. I'm going to think it over a little bit more. I'm not going to be hasty with my decisions there. Next up we have Maintenance. I tried to use this card, but a pesky Vileplume is blocking me, blocking all item cards. But this card, shuffle 2 cards from your hand into your deck, then draw a card. I have 2 of those in this pack, but we also have Professor Oak's Hint. Draw a card so you have 7 cards in your hand, and then your turn ends, which I'm not a fan of this card. Coughing has 60 HP. Foul Gas with 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. If tails, they are confused. The second Maintenance I spoke of right there. We also have Staryu, 60 HP. Quick Blow for 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, the attack does 10 more damage. And I feel like this Maintenance card, I'm backtracking just a second here, but I feel like this card would have gotten me a little bit closer to a victory had I been able to shuffle 2 cards from my hand into my deck and then draw a card. It was just really unfortunate that the timing was that he prevented me from using it. Otherwise, I would have been able to use it. Pikachu, 60 HP. Gnaw does 10 damage and Thunder Jolt for 30. If tails, you do 10 damage to yourself. Onyx with 100 HP. Harden prevents Any damage done during your opponent's next turn, as long as that damage being done to you is less than 60, or 60 or less, I should say. Rock Throw for 40 damage. We've got a Machop with 70 HP. Dual Chop, 20 damage times the number of heads. Flip 2 coins there. And Weedle with 40 HP. Poison Sting, 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads, your opponent's Pokemon is poisoned. So, there you have it. That is not the last pack ever, but one of the last packs I'll open for some time on Evolutions, unless I get more from the Versus tree. So I do want to thank you again for watching, folks. I will sign off right here, but don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will catch you on the flippity flip.